We're from Houston, Texas. I'm Frank, and this is my son, Frank. We've been hunting together since he was a little kid. I've been hunting since I was probably a teenager in Texas. Our first trip here was last year. This is our second bear hunt, and it's my third visit. I also came to hunt deer in the fall.
This is my second trip here. Just growing up, being around my dad hunting, and him being fascinated, by big game and wanting to go hunt bears, kind of was instilled with me. And coming out here the first time, it was so exciting to see the bears, and you can't wait to come back. To me, I've never been black bear hunting anywhere else, but from day one, you just see tons of bears, and even if you don't shoot one right away, it's still very exciting to see the bears running around and playing with each other. It's very enjoyable. Yeah,
they interact in many different ways. You see mothers with cubs. You see mothers with year-old cubs. You see them fight. You see them talk to each other. They snap their jaws at you. They come and jiggle your ladder stand. They do come around the bait. Seems like there's quite a few bears here. A lot of bears. It would be almost impossible for you to go home without one. We've also been lucky enough to take several color phase bears, blonde or brown or chocolate. There are many different names for the different shades. Well, there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety.
I had no idea what to expect.
I didn't either.
But yeah, they get you out there in the tree stand, and you're sitting there, and you're like, man, I'm going to see bears this close up, and it's way above my expectations of what I had imagined at all. It's really, really cool thing.
They told us what to do, what to expect, what to see, told us how to judge the bears. Last year, my son-in-law shot a nice chocolate bear within 20 minutes of being here with a bow. Last year, our partner John, he shot the first bear with a recurve here at Bone Quest. This year, he's back with his recurve, and Frank brought a longbow.
I think the guides do a really good job too of setting you up and explaining, like my dad said, how to judge the bears and what to look out for to see, is this bear a good shooter bear versus, a younger, smaller bear. Because when they first come out, can't really tell. It's hard to tell if it's a big bear or not, but they set you up for success. Yeah.
I would describe Bone Quest as accommodating. These guys are shooting not compound bows, and they requested a close range at a certain angle so that they could shoot at the angle they were comfortable with. And Greg was very accommodating in setting up those blinds at the correct distance and the correct angle for them.
More than enough to eat. The accommodations are fantastic. I was telling my dad, it just feels like you're just almost at home and you got a home cooked meal, and it's just, the food is good, it's comfortable to sleep, there's plenty of snacks, you never go hungry here, and if you want something, I think they would go out and get it for you.
They will go and get it for you if you want something special, but there's plenty here, and Greg and Megan worked very hard. The bear hunting is mostly in the evening until late at night, so it's a very relaxed morning. You don't wake up early, and you eat some coffee and light snacks, and they provide a really good brunch around noon. And then you go out to hunt with sandwiches or wraps or both in your pack. And by the time you return at 10:30 or 11 at night, there's a hot meal waiting for you. Our partner here, John, he just spoke with Greg and felt like Greg was a good down-home boy and said, let's give it a try. And we've been very, very happy. We will definitely come back next year. That's pretty exciting. We've never been that close to a black bear, never touched a black bear. My bear had kind of curled up and he looked really small when we went up to him. As a matter of fact, Frank Jr. said, Dad, what the hell? You shot a little cub. Then Greg started pulling him out of there, and he got longer and longer and longer, and ended up being 224 pounds, something like that, which is a respectable bear. Put me on a good blind, and I did see a large bear, the first bear I saw, and I think that kind of held me back from shooting it. Should have shot the very first one I saw, but shot a smaller bear of the same color or similar color as the big one. It's kind of a chocolate color, light chocolate colored.
So my dad and John and my brother-in-law, they all, they cleaned up and they were done shooting, so I was the only one hunting. And Greg, he worked hard to put me where he thought I needed to go, and I kept seeing tons of bears, and I had one come up and took the shot, and we first got up to it, and it was a pretty amazing experience seeing a black bear so close up and touching the fur. Really cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Saw plenty of bears.
You have a lot of opportunities, especially if you're shooting a rifle.
Yeah.
I have seen on this trip, I've actually seen pull the card out of the game cameras. You can see the bears that come to your blind, and there are sometimes some very large bears there. There's two beautiful large chocolate bears at the blind I was at.
I would say if you just want to shoot any bear, you can do that at any time in this trip. You see enough bears. But obviously, we all want to shoot a bigger one and maybe get a color. But if you're coming just to see a bear, you're going to see bears. Last year, it was getting down to the end of the trip for me. I had passed up plenty of bears, and this one that I saw, he looked like a pretty decent bear, and I had a good shot on him, and I took it, and it was a very nice hide, very nice fur, black bear, real deep color. How close the bears get to you.
Yeah.
They're not, they know you're there, I think, but they're very curious, and they'll come up and get right under your tree stand. I had one last year almost start climbing up the tree stand with me, and scared me a little bit, but had to shoo it off, and it ran off. But it's just surprising how close they'll get and how curious they are. Yeah.
We've had more wind and rain this year, and I think that has slowed them just a little bit. But as soon as the wind died down, the bears showed up. You size the bear by the barrel, the size of the barrel. If they're as tall as the barrel, they're a pretty good bear.
I think I judge my bear pretty comparatively to height and weight. Maybe could have been off a little bit, but I think I can tell pretty good by what they've told me, Greg and the whole group, of how to judge and how to see the weights, height and weight. Yeah.